put together this program for investors. When you're running an investment team, and Will, you can back me up on this, there are certain activities that are real estate profit-driven activities. And most of those are centered around conversations that you're having with sellers. And then on the dispo side, conversations that you're having with buyers or real estate agents, activities that have a direct value in a short amount of time. And if you really focus all of your time on those core real estate profit-driven activities, you're making probably 4 or 5 grand an hour, if not more, right? And it becomes the other side of the business is more of the small business management side, not the real estate side of your business, but small business management. And that includes, managing a staff, having a marketing program, and making decisions based on around your marketing spend and where and implementing that marketing spend. For real estate specifically, getting into like transaction coordination and things that are vital to the overall success of your business, but not necessarily something that you, as the entrepreneur and lead of your company, need to be burning your calories to do, right? So the impetus of this program is that we wanted to be able to take the outbound marketing that you're doing, or just any text engagement that you're doing for your business, whether it's outbound communication with buyers and sellers, however you're using text, we want to be able to run that side of it for you, because that's where our subject matter expertise lies, right? We've been doing this for 6+ years. We've worked with thousands of investors at every level of the game. And we've helped see people go from being, on our light subscriber package, just getting started with their business, all the way up to 7-figure success, right? So we know how it works in terms of being able to take a set of data and extract as many possible discovery calls as we can out of that data. From there, it's a question of real estate and investment expertise. So that's where we want to hand it off. Right? We want to be the subject matter experts, or we are the subject matter experts in text engagement. And as soon as it becomes a live, viable real estate investment lead, we want to hand that off to your team for you guys to handle that side, that portion of the sales funnel, and get as many deals as you possibly can out of those leads coming in. Top of the funnel, messages delivered. Okay, so we got a data set in this case of about 20,000 records. And so when you get about a 90% deliverability rate, and we cycle out those numbers that can't connect, can't verify, what you're left with is about 15,000, 16,000 messages that got delivered. From that, got a 15 or so percent response rate. So you got just shy of 2,000 inbound seller responses. Now, when you're managing a team, whether you're doing this yourself or you've got your team doing it, it's not that 2,000 number, that it's not the 1,500 that you care about. It's not the 2,000 that you care about. It's the next number down. How many of those were ready to be pushed to your CRM? How many of those were ready to have a discovery call? They said, yes, I own the house. Yes, I'm interested in discussing solutions. And you're able to proceed to that part of the sales funnel, which is, again, real estate investment knowledge, right? So when you're faced with limited bandwidth for you and your team, and you've got 2,000 responses that you need to kind of cycle through to get down to those really core closable profit leads, profit attached leads, it's something that it takes a really, really smart and optimized system for you to do. Now, the problem is that if you try to do this yourself, which you can, and a lot of teams do this quite well, is that this as business owners, when you lose someone on your team, it's very hard to replace that person. It's very hard because you have to go through the retraining. You're back in the slog of management. You're back in the weeds of looking at the details of how things are being done. And you can't do what Will just alluded to, which is let the system work for you so that you can focus on those core leads. Now, everything below that 119, the number of offers sent, the deals under contract, the amount of deals closed, this is not this is a reflection of the efficiency of that particular real estate investment team, right? Because at that point, it's in their CRM. So they have a different set of touch points that they're using to follow up. They have a with their acquisitions team, they have a very specific cadence that they're running through, and they have an evaluation process, and that changes for every investment organization. So it's really a two-team approach within the sales funnel. We take top of the funnel, we pass off those discovery-ready calls, and then your team optimizes from there on your end to drive as much results as you possibly can. When you're working with launch leads, the efficiency numbers, as you can see, the 71, 96, 43% are significantly higher than we're seeing even from our highest performers within the system.
Absolutely. So first, I'm going to take your success over right from the onboarding experience, which is basically an hour-long call or so, depending on the need. And in that call, I'm going to gather all the information we will need for the team to actually operate without, taking away too much of your time on things that don't matter to you. So we start from, what you have been working with so far in terms of the marketing channel, CRM, what is the market you're operating in. We get a good idea, really good idea around your buy box and what you can afford, so we can um, talk to leads in a way where we know who's pulling our leg or not, and just trying to streamline everything so you get it real time. My main job is to make sure that what happens is the real time handoff, and that's what we devote the main portion of the call to, and also to set the goals that we can further expand on after the call. So for the buy box specifically, we go through like the general market and how much the property or land goes for. We have Zillow handy within the app to kind of refer to it on the go. But if a client has their own offer ranges or comps that they can provide to us, we can pull them directly out of the account and or out of the list, and actually work with that as a reference point too. So the buy box is important because we want to make sure we are only delivering, or as much as we can, only delivering the conversation ready leads, and not waste time on people who are asking way above your buy box and inundating you with those calls.
Make sure that people understand as well, Stephen, what the timeline of this is, right? Because they are looking to outsource, and they're looking to be able to kind of implement this pretty quickly. So from an investor perspective, what's the kind of time ask from us to get started?
Well, the main thing is to have the onboarding, and it takes, as I said, about an hour of your time. That will be the main piece to actually get started. And from there, it's all based on the need. I don't set it and forget it there, but it's also not like for our regular launch control users where you get onboarded and then you start texting immediately. With launch leads, we want to do our due diligence in terms of preparing the account for launch. And Chris may be able to elaborate a bit more later on how this is achieved. But basically, my goal is to space out the meetings so to give you more time to do the acquisition side of things. And I would say a healthy cadence to start in the first month or 3 months would be a weekly meeting, and then going to biweekly, monthly. With Will, I believe he went on vacation for a while, so we were not having any meetings, but we were in regular communications otherwise. So depends on the client and on the need. I'm highly available to do that.
I love those meetings because it gives me, so I get to hear about other users of the platform, very useful in terms of competition, but also gives me ideas about strategies and content. We always brainstorm on content together, see what works best, and I can also kind of like investigate on what works well with other users. I get my hands on crucial data, extremely important. Um, and Also we can do drips, we can do quick replies, and you get the best advice on like a good advice on best practices from a company that depends on, you guys know how to navigate the regulations and you depend on it. So that's really, really good for me. So I don't have to either learn that by myself or um, try to train someone to do it for me. So you get access to industry knowledge by an industry leader. I think it's very important. So I take it more like a consulting meeting. So I'm meeting with a consulting company that has experience investing in real estate, acquiring real estate, and it just in the text marketing space. Great. Honestly, like I'm not trying to be salesy or anything, but it's I was impressed, and it's pretty cheap. Undeniably, like texting in general that's I'm always trying to make a case for texting as being like one of the foundational pieces of your marketing arsenal because um it's just so cheap. And if you compare it to digital marketing, I mean, it's not even close. So undeniably, I think it's a pretty good deal for anyone if you're starting or if you're already converting leads into deals and stuff like that.
If you want to go on vacation for a month, it's going to run in the background, leads being generated and handed off to your team, deals being done by your team on the CRM side of the sales funnel, and you don't need to make any adjustments. But if you come back because you got a great idea while you were away and you want to try something new, that consultant-based conversation is there for you, and the implementation and system is already in place, so you can move on that quite quickly.
As a team, we treat the account management as a team effort. So, which means your inbox should never have any downtime, except on holidays, of course. Unlike, unlike when you're training people in-house, let's say, for example, a VA, when your VA goes on sick leave, your inbox may not be, may have no one to take care of it. So with our team, your inbox doesn't actually have any downtime. So we make sure that it gets taken care of. Each account is unique, and we understand that, and we're always happy to adjust responses, initial messages, or anything else, just as long, again, as it follows the texting guidelines. So.
In terms of the daily process, what's the process look like for your team working with Will's team, for instance?
So our day-to-day process, we start the day by, of course, reviewing the inbox and catching up on message from the day before, just to make sure that no lead or important communication is overlooked. This has actually helped us maintain continuity, respond promptly to any outstanding queries. This kind of like helps us connect better with the leads. As you know, when you connect with the leads, chances are they're going to talk to you more and therefore know more about how you can help them. So that, and then we send batches, we send messages in batches, making sure there are intervals, and then we manage responses, tag leads accordingly, and update lead statuses as we go along. Now, I'd like to emphasize though, that those tags, those taggings and those statuses, we do have like a default tag and lead statuses on the system. However, Stephen always makes sure to ask the client if they have any specification, or if they want to customize any tags, or if they want to customize any statuses, just to make sure that it's easier for them to understand. And then after that, as we reply to the leads, we identify leads that are discovery call ready. We send it directly to the client, either via text or email, or just simply push to CRM. To make the process more convenient, actually, we do have a mobile app that you guys can can utilize. It allows the clients or our clients to easily manage leads, track communications, and stay updated. So that's with our mobile app. Now all of these leads are actually tracked in a lead sheet with important details, and of course also on the client CRM. That's pretty much how our day goes. And if there's anything important or anything urgent that the client kind of like raises with Steven immediately communicates it with us, and we talk about it and we see what we can do about it. With the handoff process, as soon as we get a lead that is discovery call ready, we push it to your CRM. Now, it is very important that you guys have your notifications on your CRM so that you would know whenever we push leads onto your CRM real time as well. But just because technology sometimes fail us, we still send you guys text messages or whatever you prefer. We send you a text messages, we send you email, just letting you know that, hey, we pushed a lead to your CRM, just so you could take a look at it and probably tell us what you think, or probably tell us what you want to do next. So would you want us to put that on a follow-up drip or whatever it is that would fit your process? So as soon as it's forwarded, the expectations, because time is of the essence. Most of the time, deals are closed or deals are materialized when you call them when you call the leads as soon as possible. Right. So when we forward the leads to you guys, that means we have actually confirmed that these people are ready for a call. And when they're ready for a call, you know how it is that sometimes they're not ready for a call the next day or probably in an hour after. When we push the leads to you, the expectation is to make sure that it's going to be a fruitful partnership, is the account managers to call them immediately. Because like I've said, time is of the essence. And I guess it's very, very important for us to call them immediately once they're forwarded.
Buckets, right? We're making sure that, again, the app itself and usage of the app is at 99, 100%, making sure it's fully optimized. But there's also an REI optimization. And we're making sure that we're using the right quick replies in the right scenario. We're making sure that there's recognition of what is a strong lead and what is kind of a baiting lead. Right. There's a very detailed system that you and your team go through on quite literally on a daily basis to make sure that we are running at peak efficiency, both on software and REI sides of the fence.
Me and my team were very, very proactive in terms of our communication. So we do a weekly SWOT analysis, which helps us identify account needs, whether that's needing more leads, refining processes, or getting updates on existing leads. Whenever we have the SWOT analysis, we actually communicate these needs through our client or CSM, which is Steven, to make sure that we're always moving forward. SWOT analysis, as we all know, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. We do this on a weekly basis just to make sure that we're 2 steps ahead and keep improving. Our team works with a checklist, and we do have a KPI for consistency and quality. So we do follow a KPI to ensure quality in lead management. So these includes responding promptly within 20 minutes, providing tailored replies, updating lead notes and status in real time, sending leads via the client's preferred channel, and so on and so forth. Now, you'll be happy to know that me and my team, we're trained to identify whether a lead is just, pulling our leg. Let's say, for example, people who we get this all the time, leads who would send us messages that, hey, they'd like to sell for 1 million, when in fact, you see their property in Zillow market value is just 200. So those are the things that we kind of help screen for you, so you won't have to deal with them. So, I guess that's also one part of the process that we're very, very proud of.
Really, you get from the service, you get no training, so you save time on management. You create a process for your customers, and people want to see that you have confidence in your service, in your system, they will really appreciate, they do appreciate that. You increase your consistency, which gives you way more accurate data. It's just always the same, right? So you have more accurate data, more opportunity, of course. You can focus on hot leads, so that's what matters. You're not overqualifying them. You're not putting your acquisition manager through the exposure on like colorful language that a lot of people use by text. So that's important for the mindset of your acquisition manager in terms of like emotions, you know, because every call will start with the right mindset. That's key. That's like the, you know, sales 101. And if you're the last thing, if you're putting a prospect through a qualifying process, you can that's like structured and always the same, then you always remain in control, right? Because it's always the same. It's streamlined. So when it's streamlined, to me, that's really when that shift happens, and you get that outreach that becomes really an inbound, because you have different stages. You have the first gatekeeper, which is your texter, filtering out all the non-leads, or the, you know, non-hotness and non-warm leads. And then once they land on your CRM, then you're ready to start your sales process.